Hey there, I'm Hello Rodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. All right, there's a guy here on YouTube. His name is Joe Felice or Felice. He's a, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's a guy who makes videos here, and he did a video on deterrence and the death penalty. Now, I'm not here to say the death penalty is or is not a deterrent. What I'm here to say is that the death penalty solves one thing. It makes it impossible for the murderer to commit another murder. And there's going to be 2 links in the description about how this happens. People get convicted of murder, and then somehow they get out of jail, out of prison, and they go and murder again. So I'll give you those 2 links. Now, if anybody's out there and finds the statistics on how many people per year are murdered by someone who has been convicted of murder previous, please let me know, because that's what I'm concerned about. So the death penalty does solve that problem. If somebody murders, they get executed, they don't murder anybody else. Now this is about Norman Mailer. There was an incident that happened back, I'm not sure what the year was. Do your own research. I'm going to put the article in the description, and then we'll pick up this writing at this point. Mailer, this incidentally comes from the New English Review, and there'll be a link. Mailer was much taken, however, by his literary abilities, his prose style, and his thoughts. And then in parentheses, among other things, he was a communist and was of the opinion that the American penal system was far worse than that of the Soviet Union, even in the time of Stalin, in parentheses. Mailer supported Abbott's appeal for parole, and Abbott was duly released. His book was published. He became for a short while the lion of the New York literary scene, a kind of interesting specimen, parentheses, a petty criminal who would have been of no interest, of course, in parentheses, until a couple of days prior to the publication of the favorable review of his book in the New York Review of Books, he killed again, only 6 weeks after his release. His victim was a young man, an aspiring writer who was working temporarily as a waiter with whom Abbott had an impulsive quarrel. He stabbed him with a knife that he happened to have with him. Now, whether or not you believe that the death penalty is a deterrent or you believe that the death penalty is not a deterrent, if this person would have been executed for his crime of murder, this person, this noted here as a young man, an aspiring writer who was working temporarily as a waiter, his life would have been spared. So you can believe anything you want to about whether or not the death penalty is a good thing or the death penalty is a bad thing. But one thing is for sure, if a murderer is convicted of murder and that person ever gets out of jail, out of prison, then anybody that they kill after they get out, that person's particular murder, their family and all of their friends would have been spared had the state executed that person or made sure that that person never ever saw the light of day again. I'm Hello Rodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.